From his body language, it's evident that Martin Brudermüller seems a bit anxious. He is the CEO of BASF, a German chemical conglomerate. At the time, he was answering questions from journalists at BASF's 2023 annual report conference, where he reluctantly revealed the truth. Name me just one investment in Europe where we could make money. It's commonly known that the European economy, including Germany's, has been in a slump for years. But just how worrying is it? I spoke with two friends, Michael Schumann and Zhong Hong, who are currently in Germany. They said
the European economy was under a lot of pressure. You still had the fallout of the pandemic. You had the big strain on the European economy resulting from the conflict in Ukraine, soaring energy prices, high inflation, and the problems with supply chains, and also problems caused by the sanction policies that were imposed on Russia after their invasion in Ukraine.
它那个去年的国民生产总值的增长是负的，负0.3%。过去2年中间呢，很多这个大中型的企业，它对这个德国的投资几乎呢处于一种停滞状态。
The facts speak for themselves. GDP growth, inflation rates, household electricity prices, pretty much all the economic stats in Europe have been in a bit of snooze fest lately. So, with things looking grim, the question arises, how can German companies save themselves? Let's revisit BASF's annual report. Through data analysis, we found that Europe and China were the buzzwords dominating Brudermüller's discourse. Indeed, China emerges as German companies' strategic choice.
一个稳定的对外贸易的环境对德国经济增长呢是很重要的。然后呢，中国呢又是德国的除了欧盟之外啊，欧盟呢已经就是有点相当于是那个国内市场了。假如你把中国和德国对比的话，那么中国的国土和欧盟的国土差不多，是吧？那个经济那个总量也差不多，所以欧盟对德国来说是国内市场。但是呢，这个除了欧盟以外，中国就是最大的那个国外市场。
They see that, and they see that as a positive business environment, not only to produce and to sell, but also to innovate and to learn.
BASF isn't alone in this approach.
If you look at the current figures, BMW is growing in the Chinese market.
We are there with our software, automation, hardware and electrification portfolio to support the companies, and it's about 350,000 small and medium-sized companies to really step up with new technology. So we are looking very closely. China will be a decisive element in the equation.
It's hugely important for us, and we're continuing to invest into China. So we believe in the long term there is a growth potential for us.
We're continuing to invest in China from a manufacturing footprint side, both for my business and Henkel as overall. So,
but are they making the right call? Digging deeper, I examined the 2023 financial reports of major German firms in China. And here's the verdict. The figures speak volumes. However, in face of rational market choices, there are always some dissenting voices.
You say this massive investment by German companies in China is the wrong way to go.
Economic relations can be weaponized, interdependence can be used, and this kind of dependencies that exists can be leveraged for political interests. And indeed, we see that countries are willing to do so.
Consequently, Germany's current policy towards China appears somewhat ambivalent. On one hand, there's the new China strategy, branding China as a competitor and a systemic rival, and emphasizing de-risking and less dependence. On the other hand, there's active engagement, with China being labeled a partner and no hint of decoupling. Germany finds itself in a tight spot, defending its value while maintaining the upward trajectory of Sino-German economic and trade relations. But the actions of German companies offer clarity. German investment in China reached a record high of 11.9 billion euros in 2023. Moreover, business collaboration between two sides is evolving step by step. We understand that there are no fundamental conflicts of interest between China and Germany. Both are the largest economies and manufacturing hubs in their respective regions. Germany stands as China's top trading partner in Europe and the EU's leading investor in China. Hence, fostering closer collaboration is a no-brainer. It does not only serve the fundamental interests of both nations, but also bolsters regional and global peace and stability. As Chancellor Scholz embarks on his second visit to China in 3 years, a steadily developing Sino-German relationship is what we all expect to see. As we were wrapping up our discussion, I posed a question to Mr. Schumann. In a word, how would you describe your vision for Sino-German relations? After a brief pause, he responded, Beethoven's Ode to Joy.
I think we should cherish that hope and not give up hope that we will be able to overcome what divides us and focus more on what we have in common.